MIPA family? It's your boy LAPA coming through with another video. You guys already know what we're here for, man. Try to kick some game by way of my experiences for the youngsters, the reoffenders. Prison is not the way to go, pretty much. And we're doing, like I said, by giving a lesson in each one of my stories. Um, Basically stories of caution. You know what I'm saying? And as you can tell by the good old thumbnail, that caption, that uña, right? The thumbnail, right? The uña. Uña in Spanish is nail. Thumbnail. You get it. Anywho, uh, it almost kicked off in Pleasant Valley, man. It almost kicked off in Pleasant Valley. It was definitely one of the most um tension filled situations that I've been in without something happening between us and another race. But something did happen, and that's my point. So Pleasant Valley B Yard, man. Pleasant Valley B Yard, man. I was there. I got there. Did the last 10 months there on a lockdown. Um, um, we were at war with the Bulldogs. We were at war with the Bulldogs, and the organization member that had ended up putting on permanent green light passed away. So that pretty much gave way for the rest of the organization members to try to make some money. So they lifted the green light there. They seen that we were never gonna get off lockdown, and we just kept rushing these cats. And ultimately, man, they wanted a yard to be available. They wanted a yard to be available for one of their brothers, one of their organization members. And that yard was pretty much nothing. Like it wasn't making any money. Um, for all intents and purposes, bro, somebody had to control that yard, but there was no money being made because we were locked down. So, like I said, man, the dude that put him on green light, he had that much juice. Um, it paved the way for them to get off the green light. We stopped rushing them. After that, it opened up a whole, uh, like a whole commerce, a market. And they started making money. People started hitting on and through visits. Drugs started coming in, dope, all that shit. So, the gravy train started running. Um, and shortly after the lockdown, we came to a situation, um, and not even with the Bulldogs, with the Blacks. There was this dude, man. He was a cool dude too, man. I even if I remembered his name, I probably wouldn't say it, but I can't remember his name, bro. It's been so many years. Um, I think he had some dreads. Stocky dude. This fool he was big, bro. Like that motherfucker was big. Um, Not too tall, but he was like he was stout, bro. Um, it was cool, man. I mean, I used to see that fool every day, man. So dog, he was in my block actually. Um, cool dude, humble dude, whatnot. And what ended up happening was he used to go to education. Um, and something ended up happening with one of the paisas. The paisas have the language barrier, meaning they don't speak good English, bro. They don't speak good English. Um, so we heard that this dude had disrespected a paisa, and automatically, all of us that know the paisa that was disrespected and him, we were all like, "Wait a minute, like, nah, man, this is not in his character. This dude doesn't just go around. He's cool as fuck. Like, he ain't disrespectful. He ain't belligerent. There's some other egotistical ass motherfuckers in there, bro. There's a lot of blacks. No disrespect to my black brothers, man, but there are some dudes that they're loud, bro. They're loud, and they don't give a fuck about anybody, bro. They disrespect people for no goddamn reason, you know. But he wasn't one of them cats, bro. He was. I'm telling you, man. I can't even emphasize that enough, man. He was cool as fuck. Um, and when I heard about it, I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, man, the Pisces are pressing the issue, and just be on your toes when you go out to the yard. They're pressing the issue on this cat. Well, the Paisa that was pressing the issue, bro, I already knew off the top that whatever the black individual said, it was not meant in the way that the Paisa took it. I legitimately think that the Paisa was just being racist. Honestly, bro. It's the only incident in my whole term or I felt like somebody was being that racist. And the Paisa was being racist, dog. Like, you're never going to change my mind because that's just what it is. Knowing that character and knowing the other individual and the fact that he didn't speak English good, you know what I'm saying? It was miscommunication. And I'm already knowing that the black individual probably was playing with him, like, in a respectful way, like, hey, what's up, like, what's up, Paisa, And I think that's what it was. I think he said like paisa, ain't no paisa, I'm paisano. You know, because some for those of you that know, paisas don't like being called paisa. I ain't a paisa, I'm a paisano. You know what I'm saying? Like because some of us between our own race, the pochos, the gang members, use that as a derogatory term, like fucking paisa. You know, ¿qué onda paisano? When you say paisano, what's up paisano? That's more like an endearing term. But Paisa's like fucking Paisa. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that's why he felt disrespected. Um, the black didn't know no better, bro. He don't speak Spanish. He don't know the nuances and the subtleties between Paisa and Paisano. You know what I'm saying? So, but nevertheless, the Paisa had a position of power, and he pressed the issue on him. You know, it happened to be the dude that had the Paisa, the car for the Paisas. Honestly, um, not that I didn't like him. Like I said, man, I just felt like he just pressed the issue because he just wanted to feel important. And there had been some incidents where they had backed us up. So, of course, we're going to back their play. Anywhere I've ever been, we're always rocking with the Paisas. They jump with us, we jump with them. Plain as, plain as day, it's not even a question. We're one people, it is what it is. They even had a Paisa made into the organization. So, anywho, that's a story for a different time. So yeah, man, we're on the yard, man. We get out there. Sure enough, man, nobody's going to school. None of the blacks are going to school. The tension's in the air, and I'm talking about the tension is in the air, thick. You know, the blacks were all gathered there, in between 1 and 2 block, and the front was their side of the basketball court. You had homies on our side of the basketball court facing them. On the other side, the handball courts, they were facing the blacks, the homies. We were over here with the paisas facing the blacks. So we had them surrounded. On the back side was the Bulldogs by the little rec area, and then on the other side, the rest. Um, so yeah, man. When I say we had them surrounded, that's not to say that they have big numbers. They had numbers. We just had them surrounded in a sense where we could have attacked them from different places in the yard. You know, because we had our area and then we had the Paisa area, and that's where I used to chill. That's where I was ready to take off from, with my boy from Peru. You know, so yeah, man, they're talking on the yard, man. The homie's going up to them. The homie from Fresno actually had the yard at the time. I think Locos 13 or Locotes 13, one of the two, from Fresno. He had the yard at the time. He was going up there talking to the cats. And I remember this dude from LA. I don't know if he was from Compton. He was a good dude, man. I used to work in the kitchen with him. He's a voice of reason. A voice of reason. A good dude, has a good head on his shoulders. He was the one pretty much advocating like, damn, well, this who disrespected him, you know, like plain and simple, bro. This is what ended up happening. I kind of mentioned this for those of you seen that ACP interview that I did, not interview, but discussion I did with him at PNG News. It reminded me of this. I had forgotten about it, but one dude, they were all talking. Our leader was going to talk to them. They were going to talk to two other three dudes. Those two dudes are going to talk to other dudes. So it was a whole discussion between themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like for people that know what's up, they know what's up. That's how they get down. You got to talk to a bunch of them dudes just to fucking get something across. When it was all said and done, one of them cats was like, "No, no, Nick. I guess from us, and we're literally picture this. We're on the yard, right? We're on the yard. The cops already lined up with the riot gear. This is how obvious it was. They're already lined up against the wall. There's about, for anybody that knows, we're probably like what 4 or 5 cops on the yard, any regular yard, 4 or 5 cops max. A couple of them walk the yard, whatnot, if they feel like it. There was about 15 cops lined up against the program office and to medical, and then obviously after like 10, 15 minutes of this shit of the homie that had a yard going back and forth, walking back and forth to their area, back to our area, to their area, back to it. Basically, diplomacy was taking place. You know, we were going back and forth. By that time, the cops and riot gear were already under the side of the fence, just standing by. And it was just a sight to behold. Everybody was just waiting. You know, we had one crowd, boom, 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 just looking at each other and just waiting, bro. And everybody was looking at. I remember thinking like, well, if they didn't know who the leaders are, Well, they know now. You know what I'm saying? Like they always know, man. There's always somebody that tells, bro. All bad, bro. But like I said, it was all said and when it was all said and done, I guess they came to an agreement. Like, yeah, we're gonna remove this fool. And one of the blacks, he didn't like it at all. He didn't like it at all. He's like, no, no, hell no, nigga, no, nigga, no, fuck that, nigga. Like, and the dude was trying to calm him down. Like, hey, bro, shut the fuck up, homie. Like, they could hear you. You know what I'm saying? Like, shut up. You're about to kick off this whole riot. And we were looking at this fool, and I remember hearing the homie saying, like, man, fuck these fools, man. Let's just take off on these cats. You know, and the homie that had the yard was like, nah, hey, homie, relax, relax, relax. Because it was disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? So what ended up happening is uh there was three dudes. Three dudes. Um the crazy part is that I was real close with these dudes, meaning like I used to see them every day, say what's up to these fools, including the one that they were gonna victimize, right? Um, and the dudes that I talked to the most were the dudes that handled them because I guess they were boys. Well, anyways, they were from the area, their own car. So they take off on this dude, and the dude goes up to him like, "Fuck it, let's get this, man." And he handled it like a man. Boom, boom. They start getting out. Boom, 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 boom. This dude, bro, this dude, I'm telling you, he had the size and he also had the hands. You know, they were trying to take him down and all that shit, man, but they couldn't. And I remember thinking, man, for those of you that have been on B Yard in Pleasant Valley, there's a solid cement um ping pong table, but it's made out of cement. It's thick, bro. I remember one of them dudes, they couldn't take him down. One of them dudes finally grabbed him and picked him up and took him down. That dude's head missed. He missed the ping pong cement table, the corner of it, by a little bit, bro. If he would have landed his head on that cement, he would have been dead. I remember thinking, oh, boom, and you could hear the audible signs when we were taking off on this dude. And when these fools are handling these dudes, obviously the cops are aware. You know, they're waiting for something to happen, so they see everything start happening. These dudes start removing this dude, so the cops are like, okay, get down, get down. Nobody got down. Nobody got down. We all kind of just crashed out to our ass, and that was it. You know, nobody proned out. That's what I'm saying. And as they kept trying to remove them, they were on them. They were on them. Boom, boom, boom. The tower in the yard starts blasting the Bertha. And the Bertha is a block gun. Back then there was blocks before the rubbers, and a big block, a big block of wood. If that shit hits you directly, that shit'll break your jaw, break your bones, break your head, break anything, bro. So you were supposed to ricochet that shit, you know. So it was maybe by this time they were already in the middle of the yard. They started near the ping pong table, and by this time they had fought. They were fighting all the way into the middle of the yard. And when the one of those blasts that the tower hit, it hit one of the skinny dudes that was removing them. That fool had hands too, but he was just thin. Hits him right in the jaw. Bunk. When it was all said and done, and they picked that dude up, his jaw was hanging. They had him cuffed. His jaw was hanging down. That shit broke his jaw. And soon after that, boom, they took off on the dude that was talking shit. You know, got him out the way, and that was that. My point is this, man. These type of situations, man, like any other time, bro, like when shit like this happened, um, we always had this was the first time in my whole term where we actually were like at a fucking Mexican standoff, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like a Western standoff. That was the first time in my whole prison term where some shit like that had happened. It was crazy to see. And it was this close to kicking off. And I remember thinking, like, I appreciate the black car, the individuals, the OGs, because there was OGs on that yard. If there wasn't OGs on that yard, it wouldn't have went down like that. You know? Um, for all they knew that this dude disrespected him, I don't think he did. But it is what it is, man. There's injustices, and it is what it is. I'm glad that we didn't have to kick it off. It saved a lot of lives, saved a lot of grief, and saved a lot of people from catching true terms, more time, etc., etc. You know, and it's just what it is. Don't go to prison. Don't go to prison. Don't get caught in these type of situations, because even now, from what we're hearing, shit's starting to go back to what it used to be, and you don't want to be in that system right now, because it's no fucking joke, bro. You could lose your life, and that's just what it is. That being said, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, man. It helps the channel. Share the video if you want. Leave a comment, guys. Please leave a comment, man. You guys got any questions and shit? I appreciate you guys' comments. I'll answer when I can. You guys already know, man. One life saved is one life blessed. Smart man learns from his mistakes, but a wise man learns from other people's mistakes. APA, I'm out. God bless you guys.